Hello and welcome to Creek Farms. We're back with another episode of Deer Creek, and we finally finished the contract here on this field. We've got all of the grain off. I haven't run it up to the elevator yet, so we're going to be doing that today. And we have picked up this Ford Super Duty truck on the farm. I can't actually recall if we had this in the last episode now or not. Quite a bit has happened since our previous episode here. And so we're just bringing this up to the field here so we can get back to hauling all of our grain up to the elevator and completing this contract. I will say I love that the mirrors are actually functional in the vehicles now. I know in 19 so many vehicles had fake mirrors, so that's always a pleasant surprise. And having been out of things for so long, I can't remember if I've noticed that before yet or not, so very excited about that. It looks like our semi is full and we've got quite a bit in the grain cart here, so I'm going to go ahead and run a few loads up to the elevator here, get this Mac going. We still haven't replaced our semi yet, so we're gonna need to figure that out at some point here soon. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and deliver this to the elevator, see where we're at financially, and figure out what our next job is gonna be. Now I have to say the entrance here into the elevator is a little tricky. It's a pretty narrow entrance here. I think we're gonna miss that telephone pole. Oh, we're into their yard. My goodness. I've been trying off and on to do just a little bit more in-cab driving, trying to get used to it. At some point, I know people have requested that I try and do a realistic series where I stay in cab and such. We're a long way off from that right now. Ooh, the elevator's always a little loud here. All right, let's see. Oh, we went just a bit too far. Looks like we're going to get about 20% transported here per hopper. And so this is going to go pretty quick. I know we've got quite a bit of grain there, but I expect, much like the other field, we're going to have a little bit left over after we're done turning everything in for the contract here. So I'm going to go ahead and make those next couple of loads here. Looks like a load and a half, and we'll have everything that we need up to the elevator here. And we'll check back in after that and figure out what's going to come next. All right, so it looks like we have finished up this contract a little quicker than I thought. This is only the next load, and we sold off a couple grand worth of oats. I'm going to hang on to these oats, much like we did with the, I believe it was canola on the other field. And we're going to put this in our bins. We've still got a bit in our grain cart there, so we're going to head on back out to the field. Hopefully I can get the rest of that grain into one truckload. If we can't, we may just drive a little bit of it back up to the farm in the grain cart here to save us some trips. But I'm excited. We've got another contract knocked out here. If we jump into the contract window here, field 9 is complete. I can collect our $30,000. So we're making some okay profits off of these contracts. That's about $100,000 between the two of them, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're gonna maybe pick up a couple of more contracts here before we're all said and done. We are still working on getting our plowing done in the other field here. And so I'm gonna load up this semi. We'll head on back up to the farm with our oats, and we'll check in on that ripper and see how he's been doing. Oh, I left that quad track running because he unloaded when I pulled up. I guess I won't complain, but fuel is expensive, and we're burning through it pretty quick, I feel like, in some of these pieces of equipment, especially the combines here. So we'll run up to the farm and check back in with you. All right, we've got all of these oats going into the silo system here, and we're going to go ahead and tarp this up and drop off this trailer. We do have manual attach, so I'm going to get that going. And actually, I really don't like leaving those jack stands on the grates. We're going to pull it forward just a smidge here and drop it like so. And then we're going to get this semi hooked up to a new mod, or rather I guess I should say an updated mod here. So Perma's Modding has sent me an update to his sprayer support deck trailer. And we're going to be putting this thing through its paces today, I think. I took a look at the contract list here, and noticed we've got a couple of contracts for spraying, and we do have that large sprayer sitting there not doing anything for us. So we're going to go ahead and pick up both of these contracts. So I'm going to take contract 10 and contract 3. We're going to do a little bit of spraying. I think to start out with, we'll probably hit the smaller field just to get our feet wet, and then we'll jump into that larger field. But before we get started, we're going to go ahead and get this all set up, get our hoses attached. Everything's all set up and good to go. And we're going to take this thing up to the bulk fill point and get her topped off at the local co-op here. We haven't been down to the other side of the map yet. We've sold and been up near the shop, but most of our time has been on that side of the map. I believe there's a couple of things here down this road, so we're going to try and cut out here in front of some of this traffic. The traffic on this map is something else, and so it's taken a little bit of getting used to weave in and out of these cars, because they're slowing down for nobody. And it looks like we're making really good progress on plowing. All of our 6 headland passes are done, and I believe we're starting on the far end and working this way. So I think our workers been kind of going to town down there. We'll get pulled off to the co-op up here before we pull up the map and check in on his progress. So we're just going to navigate around here. I believe the liquid fill point is right here on the back side. This looks like it's it. And so I'm here. I can go ahead and start filling into these tanks, and we're going to pick herbicide. And so just like that, we've got herbicide going into what I hope is the front tank here. I do see the change tank on the help menu here. So I believe I can actually use U to change between the front and the rear tanks. Now, I don't know how much herbicide I'm going to need here. And so part of me is unsure if I should be filling both of these up or not. It only cost me $22,000, so I'm going to go ahead and take a gamble that I'm going to need to do both. Now, I pulled forward. I think I should have stayed where I was at. We're going to start filling again and put herbicide in the back tank. I'm almost positive I can put 2 different fill types into this trailer now and fill it with both a liquid fertilizer and herbicide at the same time if I so desire. So with the truck topped off, we're going to try and back up here without running into anything and head back up to the farm. We're going to go ahead and fill up our sprayer with some herbicide here before we head out to do our contract. And rather than just look at the map, I figured we're headed back to the farm anyway. We'll check on that plow once we get back up to the farm. So I had gone ahead and pulled into the second entrance to the farm here in hopes of spotting our worker, but I'm not seeing him anywhere here. So let's go ahead and hop out here. We'll take a look at the map. It looks like he is going down here. If I flip the filters, you can see we've already actually made a pretty big dent in this field, so he may actually get done at some point here before we need to plant in the spring. And so this poor little 8RX is just going to town. What we might do is bring that 9RX down here now that we're done with harvest for the moment and get him going on this ripper, because I think this 8RX is just a little bit under horsepower. This was meant to be more of our planting tractor than our tillage tractor. So I think we might get another mile or hour or two out of that 9RX. So we'll get him brought down here and put onto this tillage equipment here momentarily as well. All right, so I've got the 9RX brought down here, and we've just finished a round with this 8RX. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this on out of the way here and see if we can put that 9RX on this ripper and hopefully do a little bit faster of a job. I don't know. I don't expect a whole lot, but even 1 mile an hour faster is going to be able to really help us knock the acres out here. So let's give it a shot. Get this thing all hooked up, looking good, and we should be able to just fire this guy right back off. Oh, maybe not. It always helps when you set the appropriate start-stop mode here from course play. If you tell it to start at the first waypoint, he's going to do that. So we'd like him to start right where he's at. So it looks like he's still going 7 miles an hour. I guess for some reason I could have looked at the implement. I thought this implement was capable of 8 or 9, at least in game. This is probably more realistic though. I don't know that you're going a whole lot faster than 6.5, 7 miles an hour with a ripper like that, I guess, depending on how deep you're going. Either way, we've got the 9RX on there now, and it should do a good job if we do run into any hills or anything like that. This one was just a little bit underpowered for what we were trying to do. We'll run this back up to the farm here with us and get to the spraying. All right, we've got our sprayer all fired up here. We're waiting for the door to come open. We should be able to just squeeze out of here. It's a tight one, but we just make it out. There we go. And we're gonna bring this over here. Now, this sprayer trailer's got a few different features. I believe that we can fill up just by driving up next to it here and refilling the sprayer, but we can also overfill into the sprayer as well here. So let's figure out where our spray fill zone is and we'll get this thing going. So I'm in the semi, we've got it all fired up. I'm gonna start the pump on the trailer here and you can hear the motor fire up, which is really cool. If you've ever run a spray trailer here, you get the motor on the trailer going. Now I can't start that pump up without having the truck on, unfortunately. That's, I believe, just kind of a function of Farm Sim 22. If you've got something on an implement that's attached to a vehicle, the vehicle needs to be running now. But I'm loving the sound of that small engine pumping. And we're gonna go ahead and hit I and start overfilling into the sprayer here, which is working quite nicely. You can hear the splashing of the liquid moving over here into the sprayer, and it looks like we used up about 22% of the capacity in the semi here. If we hop out and jump into our sprayer now, I expect we are indeed full. Good deal. I like the look of this trailer. I like how it works. We do have the option, if we hop into the store here and look at low loaders and this Load King sprayer support trailer, you do have a single tank option as well, in which you're able to then put the sprayer deck on here, so you could actually run the sprayer around on the trailer. It's a little bit tall for me to run the sprayer around on that, but that does work pretty well here, and you have quite a few good color options and stuff on both the trailer and the tanks, as well as your wheel rims. And so this is quite a cool little mod. I really like the ability to both fill and unfill from the trailer here. That's something that was not working quite the same in FS19, and it does kind of make things work really well. And I love the sound of that small engine on the pump there. Brings back some memories for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and get this big sprayer here and head on out to our first contract, which is going to be for Field 10. If we just look at the map here, Field 10 is all the way up here in the corner by the store. So we're going to get driving and meet you up at the field. All right, we're up here into our first field. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing unfolded, and we're going to jump right into spraying. This is not that big of a field, so I'm hoping we get all of this done on a single tank. That would be the goal, at least. We're even wider than I remember here. There we go. And so we're gonna start spraying and take this first headline pass area off here, I think, just to give us some room to work. And then we'll do the up and down rows for what that's worth on this field. It's not quite a square, a little bit longer going towards the elevator there. So we'll get to the back fence line here and see if we can hit that and then just go back and forth. I did upgrade to have GPS put onto our sprayer here as well. So hopefully we can get that working without too many problems here. we're definitely going to finish this field, I think, with what we've got in the sprayer, which will be nice. We won't have to go back and forth here. Whereas I think with the other field, we're definitely going to need to refill a few times because it's so much bigger than this field is. Now, let me see here. I need to mark my GPS. Something like this and something like that. There we are. I was going to try and take another headland here with those trees there. I think instead we're just going to head right back down here and try and go back and forth. Oh, we're a little wider than I expected. There we go. This isn't really going to take that many passes, so we're just going to kind of keep going on it here and wing the headland on the side by the trees there. We're already a good 30% of the way through this contract, so this is just going to take a moment. We're definitely going to make some money between these two fields on what we paid in spray. I think I said we paid, I don't know, 20 or 30K per hopper for the spray. We'll look in a second here. But either way, this is a 10K contract, and the contract in the other field is going to be even more than that. So let's see here. We're going to have a total of 90, almost 100K between these two contracts. And our miscellaneous payments here are 45. I'm not sure exactly what that is. We have paid 13K out in helper fees, though. Vehicle running costs is adding up. New vehicles from all of the stuff we bought. So our herbicide is somewhere here in the miscellaneous fees for 45K. So that's not too bad. We've got plenty of money coming in off of this contract, and we'll have a fair amount of herbicide available to use on our own crops. It's not the best method for getting rid of weeds anymore. However, when we're on a farm the scale and the size of our farm, we just aren't going to be able to handle doing weeding or using a row crop cultivator to kill the weeds in between the growth stages here. We're going to have to just hit it with some chemical, I think, and take a little bit of a yield penalty as a result. But the yield penalty is definitely less than the penalty for having the weeds in our field. So I think we can live with that to be able to get the job done in a reasonable amount of time. Well, we've got the 1%. Let's check our contract window here. Boom, we are completed. So another $12,000 plus in the bank, and another job well done, I'll say. So we're gonna get this folded up. We'll take it back up to the yard and refill it, and we'll be getting started in on that big Field 10 contract in next episode. Hopefully we've made some progress on our ripping as well. If you like the spray deck that we used in the episode today, drop a like over on Perma's Modding's Facebook page. I'll have a link in the description below. A version of this has already been released, I believe, and the update should be coming out at some point in the near future. That's all for today. Ketterk out. Oh man, here's an opening. Can we make it? Oh, oh my God. We hit the pole instead. What kind of a farmer leaves his equipment on the side of the road like that? Not too bad. Oh, we hit a tree.